Okay. Well, that sounds like it would be the perfect beginning and also a safe beginning compared to being throwing yourselves to the wolves and navigating the jungle alone. So I'm
Yes.
wondering if you have any just a general consensus on what length of time generally would make a driver comfortable enough to branch out on their own, get enough experience under their belt, run all sorts of different types of loads. On average, how much time would you think that it would that would take before while they're leased on, between that time when they start and then the time when they might begin on their own?
I think it's up to each individual person. I mean, one person might be extremely comfortable with it, and 6 months down the road, they're ready to go. Another person might want
Maybe
to
three
take a
years.
year or three. It's just each individual it depends on them and their comfort
And their money,
ability.
their income. Some guys might have more situations in their personal life where they can't afford to go out on their own just yet. And like she said, while you're leased on with someone, you can save that money, and then that might be something that you guys could do. You start pulling saving money for them, uh, to help them build their own authority. And then that way they're kind of like a 401k or a savings. They don't see the money and then you're saving it for them. Then you can help them pay for the authority and their insurance, because that's the kicker, is usually the insurance. You got these guys who they come, they're like, okay, I want my authority.
Looks like we're having technical difficulties. I think we might be frozen. Okay. So they'll likely pop off and pop back on.
Yep.
Boy, that was a very interesting conversation. I
That,
would really love to hear what she was saying. So hopefully they'll pop on pretty quickly here.
I tried
Looks
to.
like they're popping on now.
I think I tried to reboot them there. Let's see if they'll pop right back in. Looks like they're having a few glitches on that end.
And that's all right because
No
these two
worries.
ladies are full of knowledge, and we are going to have them back again.
Any minute.
It's yeah, it's um,
So,
it's very exciting.
so talk to us a little bit, Tara. Kind of tell us some of the scenarios from some of the folks you've been talking to about why we're moving the direction we are right now.
There is a growing need and a very strong ebb and flow with the trucking industry lately. There looks like they're back on. I'll finish a little bit later. I wanted to make
Sorry,
sure
we're
that Susie and
having
Steph had a
problems.
chance.
That's okay. No worries.
That's
No
all
worries.
right.
Welcome back. Go
Okay, you were
ahead.
talking about, we lost you when you were talking about the challenges with the cost of insurance and the benefits of having a what I might call a fresh start savings account or something like that, where the funds are set aside for that purpose when they want to begin. So we left off there. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. I'm going to see if we can refresh them. Okay, so while we're waiting for them to reboot, I'll just continue what I was mentioning before about the trucking industry. The trucking industry right now is, I'm not going to say volatile, I'm going to say dynamic. It's always been a dynamic industry. However, nowadays we are dealing in a worldwide event happening. There is this hot word pandemic that everyone is throwing around, and they're kind of blaming everything on the trucking industry, but really all it is is the infrastructure of the trucking and logistics industry has not been prepared for the influx of people wanting to become a part of it. So we have another word that's cropping up: bottlenecking. There's a bottleneck at the ports. There's a bottleneck, and we don't have enough equipment. We don't have enough trailers. We don't have enough chassis. We don't have, and so really, it's there's a very big pressure in the industry um, to acquire and maintain qualified drivers. So we are tapping into an underserved population of brilliant and waiting people to become a part of the trucking industry. And there is tremendous, tremendous interest. And it takes the pressure off of the vast flow of people wanting to get their CDL and get behind a truck and just drive, versus someone to take the time to become trained, to become knowledgeable, and then to go under the wings of someone who can teach them the I'm not going to say a right way or a best way. I'm just going to say a productive way to be a part of the trucking industry. So that said, our carrier side, the Golden Phoenix program, is centered around that concept. We want to make sure that we are promoting the forward movement of the industry. And that's why we invited Susie and Steph to join us today. They're a part of that. They're a big part of Golden Phoenix Beginnings. And we're wanting them to continue in our growth and expansion. So while we're waiting for them to hop back on, I do want to highlight that their business model is not only focused on beginning a trucking company or beginning a carrier company. They are also very adept at expanding carrier companies. So we're excited to have them on today. I'm hoping that they can come on sooner than later. We'll see. We'll see how we can go.
I just sent them another link, so they'll probably be popping back on any minute. I do want to stop for just a minute and recognize our sponsors today. We're sponsored by Fresh Start Freight and Golden Phoenix Foundation. So just a little bit of background on Fresh Start Freight and Golden Phoenix. I'm going to let you watch one of our promo videos.
When it comes to logistics and transportation, you need more than a dependable freight broker. You need someone who partners with you and provides top quality customer service when you need it most. At Fresh Start Freight, we believe in putting your needs first. As a smaller brokerage, we aren't bogged down with managing too many clients. Instead, we take time to make every interaction personal and fulfilling. As a result, we have the resources and flexibility to cater to your requirements and move the barriers to your transportation goals. As a BBB certified business and with $150,000 in general liability insurance, $50,000 more than our competitors, we are focused on looking out for you and your business. We can even offer additional coverage on per load basis to bring customizable solutions that work for you and your budget. With a nationwide team at your disposal, Fresh Start Freight wants to help take your transportation needs to new heights. Let us work 24/7 to find incredible pricing for your next load. Contact us today to get started.
And one more quick one, and I will be visiting the the visitors to see
Have you
if we
been
can get a hold
thinking
of them.
about becoming a freight broker or freight broker agent? Ever since goods have been produced, they have needed to be transported, and freight brokers and broker agents have been moving those loads ever since the 1800s. Have you been looking at education programs that cost anywhere from $800 to $2,500? Then you have come to the right place. Fresh Start Lifestyles has a unique training and sign-on program designed to help you get started into this industry at a low price for training with guaranteed sign-on. And we even provide you with the programs you need to do this business at a discounted rate, which includes all of your back office support. Our classes are held online in a live webinar from the comfort of your own office or home. The class is split into 2 parts, and you begin working after the first part, putting to use the material that you learn in the first class. View our company training booklet available from the link on our website. To get started, contact us today. Fresh Start Lifestyles. Call 1-833-373-7475 or 877-762-4560, or visit www.freshstart-freight.com.
And welcome back, everybody. So, our sponsors, Fresh Start Freight and Golden Phoenix. Everybody hear me okay? A little bit of information there. You still all right? Let's test our mics. Terry, are you still good? Can't hear you, buddy.
Mic check.
There you go. Now you're good. So, we have 2 sides to us. We are licensed, bonded, insured freight brokers, and we broker freight every day. And we also are freight broker agent traders nationwide, even worldwide. We can take you from absolutely zero, show you how to make all the money that you care to in the freight industry. In addition to, recently, we have acquired, within the last year or so, we have acquired our carrier authority. And during the process of onboarding to our own trucks, we met Susie and Stephanie, who are our guests today with SBStruck.com. They're having a little bit of internet technical difficulties. I just sent them a brand new link. Hopefully, they can pop back on in a minute. They are experts at what they do. They've been in the industry for many, many years. And I believe, and honestly, this is going to be our biggest move forward. We are going to look forward to adding owner operators to our lease this year in 2022. We plan to have flatbeds, vans, and refrigerated trucks in every state. Our goal is 500 trucks in a year. We plan to move up probably 50 at a time. And I'm excited. I'm very excited. So, Dara, tell us a little bit about trucking. Your husband drives our 001, our flagship vehicle of the fleet for Phoenix, Golden Phoenix. So, Pop, tell us a little bit about being the trucker, the owner operator trucker's wife, what that is, what it means to have a good broker system set up so you don't have to worry about making money. Maybe a little bit about the revenue. You actually get to approach it from 2 sides. You're a broker agent, and you have a husband driving a truck. So, take it away.
Well, you have to trust your brokers that they're going to give you the experience that you need and that they're going to find your loads that's worth paying. I know whenever I was on the road with Doug and I was doing the brokering and setting up his load and dispatching, it wasn't very easy at all. So you had to find different companies that you wanted to work with, ones that you would trust. So.
Okay. Tara, what do you got any?
Oh, I don't hear Dr. Cam, but I do have a question for you there. I wanted to ask you about the challenges with that. So that often is the unglamorous side of
Mhm.
trucking. And I'm wondering if you find that now you're not with him now when he's in the truck, but if he's out in the truck and you're in the office, do you find that despite missing him, that maybe you might find it easier to do, um, I guess, the dispatching portion from the office?
It is easier from the office. It's easier from a laptop. It's hard to do on a phone. I know, like, whenever I was in the truck with him, sometimes it would be a stressful situation because part of the reason that I started dispatching and trying to find loads for him is because the company he was leased on with had us stuck. We were stuck in Florida for 2 weeks. I mean, I know that sounds like a vacation, but when you've got kids to get home to, that's not okay. Like, once you book someone a load, you need to have them a load out so that they're not, one, deadheading with all that fuel that they're having to pay, and two, they're making it home in a decent time to be with their children, their family. Truckers are not just truckers. There's some out there that don't, they're single and, they want to run the roads all the time, but most truckers are families trying to support.
Yeah. So even though there is a fun side to it, there's a work side to it too, an administrative side to it. So it's kind of lucky that we're able to all work together now, even though you're not
Yeah.
inside the truck with him. But that is good. Yeah, you're still able to work and help to keep him rolling.
Yeah.
There is a
It's also a big opportunity for trucking couples. Like, I know there's a lot of wives on here that want to be the broker and want to be the dispatcher and do things for their husband so that they can bring in twice the revenue. And that's really what it would do if they just look at it that way. Because once you're doing everything on your own, then there's really not a middleman that you're going to have to pay.
Yeah. I mean, and I'll just say there might be less middlemen. There's always middlemen in the trucking industry, but we want to try to cut as much of that out as we can while still maintaining productivity. So that is definitely one of the best ways to do it. So today we're supposed to be talking about getting started and maybe having some insight on, I guess, from your inside track perspective and from your husband's inside track perspective, what were some of the challenges that you faced in beginning?
Well, finding companies to lease on that are not,
they're actually texting in from Facebook and all around.
we'll just say biased.
So that
Because there is
'cause
some
it's live.
companies that you lease on to that will,
Yeah, let's
if you
go
have
back
a
on.
breakdown, they'll fix it,
And I just sent you a link.
but
I'll send you another
they'll
one.
jerry rig it, if you get what I'm saying. They'll fix it long enough for you to get home and have another breakdown, and then they'll take that out of your income or whatever and, pull it out monthly. And during this time, owner ops, they have to pay for everything. They're paying for their fuel, they're paying for the maintenance, and there's a lot of companies out there that take advantage of that. And you have to really watch out for it. I know we ran into a problem with one of the ones he was with that his orange truck, his 2008 Freightliner Columbia, kept going down. And it was doing everything that we had to take our loads and the money that we were making from it to keep that truck on the road.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
So maintenance is one factor.
Maintenance is a big factor. If you are not on top of your truck will fail.
That's a huge point to make. It's not something that you come across until after you have the truck, or maybe after that large repair, or after you stretch it a little bit further for that oil change.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We made a load to San Bernardino, California, and on his way back, he found out that the bell housing for his transmission was falling out because the company that he was with did not set it up correctly.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the little things matter. Trucks are children.
Hmm.
And if you baby them, then they'll keep you running.
That's right.
But now so did you have help beginning with authority and things like that?
No, we didn't ever have our own authority. He was going to get it, but it was just easier to lease on and make the money now, just like Susie and Stephanie were saying. It was just easier to run it that way. That way we were bringing in revenue without having to wait for our own authority. That and, your own
Okay.
authority, it costs a lot to keep up.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a lot of people right now grabbing their own authority because they think that maybe that phrase, having my own authority, is a power phrase.
But it's
That
not.
is yeah, that's a money out phrase.
Yeah. Yeah. Your own authority means you're responsible for everything, guys.
Yeah, yeah, everything. And it is it's a big deal to have the responsibility coupled with the skill. Sometimes you have one without the other, and then problems happen.
Hmm.
But I think that if the emphasis is on learning and developing within the industry, then it'll be fine no matter which way you go.
That's right.
I know owner operators and lease on operators alike, and I do find, as a rule, now this is just based upon my observation, I do find as a rule that leased on carriers are generally happier.
They are. They
I mean,
are,
overall.
because a lot of the headache is off of them. Like, say, they get somewhere and they're broke down, and they can get a data comm check or whatever to get that fixed and get back on the road, and still be able to move that freight.
Yeah.
Where if you've got your own authority, that's all you, buddy. That's it. That's all you've got. You've got yourself. You don't have a company backing you, and so if you're stuck, you're stuck. That's just how it goes.
That's right. And it so I always say the power is in the network.
Mm-hmm.
And being a leased on carrier or being a leased on driver, you instantly have a network.
That's right.
Instantly.
You
So
already
it is
have a support system.
advantage. That's right. And that is worth its weight in gold, because you cannot have success in this industry without other people. Now, if those other people are just are dispatchers or freight providers, that's fine. That's also part of a network. But if you're a driver, to have a carrier company that has a network is everything.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm so glad to hear that Susie and Steph recommended that, or I guess in their opinion, they found that leasing on first was a good way to go for those, especially who are just starting out. And a lot of times I find that there's a transition.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of owner operators have transitioned into being leased on operators.
There they are.
Hallelujah. There they are.
Yeah.
Susie and Steph, talk to us.
Okay. I don't even know what we were saying. I was just worried.
We might only be here for a minute.
It's all right.
Well, this
They still there? That it froze again? They got their whole building is out on the internet side, guys. They're struggling. Their technicians are taking care of it, and they're struggling to get back on. I want to interact. I guess interject. Tara, can you still hear me? Do you freeze too?
I am good to go.
Okay.
I think so.
I wanted to bring a parallel of up that we run into every day, and it looks a lot like the onboarding of a truck, and that is when you're becoming a freight agent. A lot of times people are like, I want to get my own broker authority. I want to get my bond. I want to be in charge of my own business. And most of the time, I don't get to them in time before I tell them, now hold on a minute. Are you actually trying to make some profit? And how soon do you want to make the profit? They're like, yeah, I want to make all the profit. That won't have to pay a broker. I'll just be an agent. When I'm an agent, I got to give something to the broker. I said, well, okay. But now let's think about this. If you're an agent and you're making whatever your split is, 60-40, 70-30, 80-20, or in our case, when you work with us, 90%, 90-10, you can start today and make money and be paid tomorrow or Friday, whatever. And you have zero overhead. I mean, very, very little slim overhead. You got a laptop and a phone and an internet load board maybe, and that's it. So you make your money and you get paid your money. And if you want to turn your computer off today, there's nobody to boss you. There's nobody saying, hey, you got to be from 8 to 5 or you got to be on from 7 to 4 or whatever. There's nobody there. You're an agent. You're independent 1099. You've got all the features and benefits of having the first off, you got freight available. You don't have to do anything but make money, make the transitions and make the money. Whereas if you get your own, and I'm not in any way saying don't be a broker and get your own authority. What I'm saying is, in my opinion, that needs to be after you get completely comfortable with what your niche needs to be in freight. If it's going to be heavy haul freight, you got some preparation to do for that. If it's going to be LTL freight, got some preparation for that. There, between when we start you off with zero, or you may even have some knowledge. I shouldn't say zero. Maybe you've been a carrier and you want to be a broker. The the idea of being an agent first is just about critical. For one thing, you want to try it on for size. Do you like it? Do you like the hours? Do you like the pay? I mean, why go out and get a $75,000 surety bond and an authority and insurance, because you've got to have some decent insurance. They'll tell you that, well, brokers don't have to have insurance because the carrier's insurance covers it. But when you go to try to get signed on with the shipper, what are they going to do? They're going to say, this is what we require. We want million, 100,000, general liability, workman's comp, and our name on the certificate. I mean, they've got a list of what you got to have before they'll send you the freight. So yeah, you're going to have insurance. Now, why in the world would you ever saddle yourself with all of that to start with when you can literally start with zero and move some freight, get a feel familiar with it? Like I was talking to Kayla the other day, get you a little nest egg, get you $10,000 or $20,000 saved up in the bank, and then say, oh, do I want to now? If for that 10%, I mean, you're going to get 100%. I'm not trying to say you're not going to make that extra 10%, but how much is that 10% gonna actually mean to you when you're putting out thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars when all you got to do is just really ride the gravy train for some time? Now, if you have 30, 60, 90 days and you're all gung ho and you do want your name on the business and an LLC and you want your Duns and Bradstreet score and you want your business credit and you want everything built to build the empire, if you've thought it through and freight brokering is the way you want to go, then absolutely we can help you get there in a hop, skip, and a jump. But the timing is what I'm asking about. Why quit your day job, jump off into the deep end of the pool, and immediately have to thrash? Every day we sign someone up, and within a couple of weeks, they're asking me, when do I make the big money? When do I make the big? Well, if you started a brick and mortar store, by brick and mortar I mean if you rented a space and you put up signage and you got all your multimedia accounts, got your social media running, what do the experts tell you it's going to take? How much time do they say it's going to take before you return a profit in a brick and mortar store in this day and age? 2 to 5 years before you turn a profit. You're going to have customers every day. You're going to sell every day, but you better have enough money in the bank to pay your employees and your overhead for a year minimum. And if you don't have that nest egg, you really don't have any business getting your broker license before you move the freight. Honestly, take do it part time, do it evenings, do it weekends. Take your time, develop your niche market, see if it's something you want to do. Makes a lot more sense because brokers go lose their authority and go broke every day. I've had brokers call me and say, I've had my authority for 90 days. I haven't moved one load. I've had my authority for 6 months. I haven't moved any. I don't have any freight. I've had my last week. A lady called me almost crying and said, I've had my authority for a year and I don't have one customer. So I sent her 5 customers. I said, there you go. Now you got customers. She wasn't even a student. I just said, there you go. There's some customers. Do you have a shipper's pack? Do you have a carrier's pack so that you can at least sign on? Nope. So I had to take her down the path of getting her own shipper's pack and her own carrier's pack. And so, now all of that could have been avoided if she just joined the program and Tara set her up on training and she started going through the steps. And just a few weeks, she's moving freight hassle free without any overhead. She wouldn't have a she wouldn't have a broker ship that's a year old and doesn't have a bond now because she can't afford it. Okay, she can't pay her bond. She can't pay her insurance. She's broke. She hasn't. She's been living on savings all year. But I couldn't help her. I just didn't know her. I didn't know her a year ago. If I'd known her, I'd say, you quit your job, bad move. Don't live off savings while you try to make it as a broker. Do not do that. I'll tell you what it's like. It's like going to Hollywood and trying to be an actor or an actress. Somebody told you that you could sing, or somebody told you could act, so you quit your job and you move to Hollywood and you're going to be a star. Well, just about everybody in Hollywood is pumping gas or flipping burgers or whatever. All of them are actors and actresses. All of them are singers. Same thing in Nashville. Everybody's got talent. But what are you doing today? I'm pumping gas. Why? Because I quit my job and went. Come on now. Don't quit your job. Be a broker and try to make the big money. The sad statistics are 1 out of 1,000 MC numbers, and Kayla will tell you, we're onboarding new MC numbers daily. We look at a list once a week or so that's got hundreds of new MCs, new brokers. 1 out of 1,000 brokers make it their first year. Okay, so it's just not something to enter into lightly. It's something you need to look at, start slowly, and and make some money now, and make some more money later, and then decide whether you want to invest in it before you become, quote, your own broker. So looking at trucks the same way, I can only dare to say that leasing on and making money. I mean, Doug came on board with us. And in 4 days, I want to say his check was almost $5,000 in those 4 days, and then he had a few more days and he made some. He didn't have any out of pocket expenses, just showing up, getting in the truck, and driving. And now he can go on as long as he wants to do. He can do that. And we just talked the other day, and we're about to kind of band together and go together and buy some trucks. He's going to supervise, train the drivers. He'll still be no money out of pocket. He's going to use some of his savings from the loads he runs to get equity built up in the trucks, I'm assuming. And he's going to be in charge of our fleet. But still, if he'd come on board and I'd say, well, Doug, it's going to be $12,000 up front before you see any profit. Well, how long? That might take him a month to make that money back. Who can do that? Who can join and say, here you go, here's 10 grand. Now can I have a job? I mean, now if you can, more power to you. And if you've got the financing and want to be a broker, go get it. Go get a big piece of the pie. All I'm saying is, from all the folks that I've ever seen make it in the trucking world for any length of time, they went with caution. They went gradually. They asked experts in the field. They worked with people that were doing it, and they took their time. I think personally, speed kills. Speed kills. Okay, so that's all I got to say about that. Tara, take it away.
Are you there, Tara? Hello.
Okay, I hit a button and my internet is jumping right here at the end.
Nice.
I guess we're wrapping up now, and we are going to have Susie and Steph on again with us on a future episode. I'm really happy to have had the brief chat that we did with them. It's definitely it whets the appetite, so I can't wait to hear what they have to say once we're on for a good portion of the time. So I'm going to leave you with this. It is Friday. That means the week is still going on. We're still productive until end of business today. And Monday, we're going to hit the ground running. So make sure you stay productive. Get something on your calendar. And if any
Yes,
of you
ma'am.
is listening now, then I want to see some production. All right. Everybody have a great weekend, a great wrap up to the week. Let's stay productive. Have a good one.
Work right now. So I'll spread that. I'll holler at you in a little while.
So just so can you hear me now? All right. So just spoke to Susie Scott. We're going to have her on again this evening. We're going to holler at her this evening after everybody gets a chance to be home. They technician said they'd have her internet up and running. So maybe we'll give her another half hour or so, 15, 20 minutes, because she had technical difficulties. Awesome. Those ladies are awesome. They're updating our safer system as we speak, working on our program for us. Looks like, of course, I didn't get a chance to say this earlier, but they stole our tag off our truck at a truck stop in Louisiana, and I called Susie, and Susie was able to get our tag back to us. It's just been a couple of days. She's got our temporary email to us immediately, and then Dara was able to print it out and take it to Doug to tape to the windows in case for DOT because he's on the road. They stole it on the road, and we got our replacement right here. He's coming in this evening, so we can do some trailer adjustment and we got some trailer repair going on and get the tag on, and hopefully this one won't get stolen. And yeah, they handle all of our business. They're about to lease on 50 trucks for us, one in each state. About to get that going today. Pretty excited about that. That's a pretty decent sized move. And if any of you out there that are catching this would like us to do a special show of any kind, has anything to do with trucking, for example, if you want to know about maybe how to get funding to buy your first truck, we've got a lady that does that. If you want to learn how to do freight brokering, you want to come on board with us and work with the mighty Dara and Kayla and Tara and myself and Amber and Amanda, then give us a shout. There's some numbers on the screen. You can call either one of the girls. You can call the 800 number there if you want to talk to Amber and Amanda about getting set up. We literally do have a program for everybody as far as finances go. Nobody gets turned away. We might have to start you off with some DVDs and some videos and some part-time training as you make your payments up, and then when you get to where you can, we'll send you your gear and your books and your items and get you booking freight and making money. But never let whatever the cost of the program is, never let the getting started get in the way of making a future for yourself. I don't know how many times I know of folks that they've got great intentions and they say one day when I save enough, I'm going to start doing A, B, and C, and then you see them 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 years later, and they still haven't done A, B, and C. Okay, they didn't get started because they waited till they had enough money to finish it. Well, if I waited to finish this office till I had the money to finish it, it would have never got started. And it's not perfect, but I started in a corner and I worked in that little corner. It's actually this corner behind me, and moved that way, and then eventually I got around the room, and then I added the shelves, and there's still things to add. We have rugs that we want to put in here. We've got things to put in the on the wall. There's shelves need to go, but the truth is, you got to get it started if you're going to get it done, to quote an old country song. So if you want to come to some presentations that are free. Call the numbers on the screen. We will set you up with a link for a completely free presentation. If you want to come to some classes, we can set you up with some free classes. Dara or Kayla, either one, can set you up with some free classes to attend. Doesn't cost a thing to try it out. If you want to get some free materials, we can email you some free materials. I don't know if there's anybody out there that's got more free stuff than we do, just to give you an idea what it's like. So you're more than welcome. Ladies, if you don't have anything further, I'm going to go ahead and play the exit video, and we'll jump off, and then we'll be back on sometime tonight. We're not real sure what time yet. Got to check with the ladies to see what time they might want to be on. We're only talking about 20, 30 minutes to give the girls a chance to give Susie and Stephanie a chance to explain what they do and how they do it. But I think we had some great uh, interaction today. I think some folks out there are interested in finding out more about freight brokering, being a freight agent, and how to onboard a carrier or become an owner operator in the trucking industry. So, Kayla, if you got anything?
Nope.
Kayla's good to go. What about you, Dara?
No, I think I'm good.
All right. Well, these are some of the ladies you'll be working with when you come on board and you enter into the new and exciting world of freight brokering. I am Dr. Cameron Todd, and I'm available if you need more information about the program. Don't hesitate to let us know. Check if you're on Facebook, you're on LinkedIn, you're on YouTube, and you have questions. Don't hesitate to give us a call. We'll answer everything we can, and what we can't, we'll find somebody that does know the answer. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and then play our little exit video. Do yourself a favor and investigate out there and do some due diligence and find out about the freight broker agencies that are out training. And then let us know what you found. If we got something similar to it, that's great. If we don't, we may add it to our program, or we may explain why we don't have it. So appreciate everybody that's here today. I'm going to be signing off, and see you next time.